Okay, so let's start off with a quick little diagram of what's going on here. Always a good idea as we solve these problems. So we'll draw our pond in here. So our pond is there. We're also told that the surveyor has found a point C where they can see both ends of that lake. And so they sight in here and they sight in there. And they find that the angle between these two sightings is 65 degrees. The distance they've measured out to be 47 meters there and 38 meters there, which is enough information that they can use a little bit of information, the cosine law in this case, to determine what the length of that pond is. Now, how do we recognize this as a cosine law type of problem? Noting that we are looking for a side, we'll call that little c here, and we know the angle across from that, the 65 degrees, and we know the other two sides. And so some people might call this an SAS. We know a side, the angle in between, the other side, and we know those three items, and so searching for other parts such as that side, cosine law works great for that. But whichever way you're looking at it, being able to recognize this as a cosine law type of problem is definitely something that you're getting used to. We lay out our cosine law. Now, perhaps at this point you're starting to have seen it a few times and maybe you haven't memorized, or you're just referring back to your formula sheet for now. That's fine. Probably by the end of the section you'll have seen it enough that you'll be able to write it out quickly, but let's fill in some of this information. So let's call this A and let's call this B just so we can keep track of things. So filling in our numbers, 47 squared plus 38 squared minus 2 times 47, 38, and cos 65. And we'll put a degrees there. Okay, so you may decide to try and do this all in one step in your calculator, and that's all great. In case you're just following along and making sure that you're getting your numbers right as you work through it, let's show an additional step here. So 47 squared, 38 squared, and then multiplying these three numbers together, 3572, whoops, 2, and then cos 65. And just to make sure, like the cos 65 should be fine in your calculator, as long as your calculator is in degree mode, right? Because the 65 is in degrees. So if we were to work that all out, add all those items together, 2143.41. All right. So now we do have to remember that this is c squared. So this isn't our final answer here. It's our final answer squared. So if we want c by itself, we're going to have to square root that number, 2143.41. And if we were to square root that, we come out to about 46.3 meters. And so that is our distance, C, which is representing the length of the pond. So we're all done.